12 years. That's how long Catherine Wellington had sat in a wheelchair, her body paralyzed, her world reduced to comfort. Doctors gave up. Millions were spent. Her son Marcus believed nothing could help. But when Grace, a young maid with a secret past, sprayed her with cold water and challenged her to feel again, everything changed. What followed was impossible. Tiny steps, wobbly at first, then stronger. By sunset, Catherine stood and walked for the first time in over a decade. This isn't just a story of recovery, it's a reminder that hope never truly dies. Marcus Wellington had always believed that wealth could solve every problem. A 35-year-old millionaire, he owned a sprawling estate with manicured gardens, luxury cars, and every comfort money could buy. But despite all his resources, there was one thing he could not fix: his mother, Catherine. 12 years ago, a stroke had left her paralyzed from the waist down. Since then, she had remained in a wheelchair, surrounded by comfort specialists and endless care. Yet she had not moved a single step. That morning began like any other. Sunlight spilling across the pristine beige stone of the mansion. Marcus stepped out of his dark blue luxury car, adjusting his navy suit. He was expecting the usual orderly routine: nurses attending his mother, coffee delivered, medications on schedule. Instead, he froze. On the lawn sat Catherine, silver hair glistening in the morning sun, her blue cardigan damp, and a young maid kneeling beside her, holding a hose. Water sprayed directly onto Catherine, splashing over her lap. "What? What are you doing?" Marcus shouted, sprinting forward. "I'm washing your mother," the maid said calmly. Her voice was steady, almost commanding. "And when I'm done, she's going to walk." Marcus laughed nervously, thinking this was some kind of joke. But the sight of his mother, wet from head to toe, eyes closed in concentration, made him stop in his tracks. "Do you realize what you're suggesting?" Marcus shouted. "My mother hasn't walked in 12 years. Paralyzed. Doctors from Switzerland, Japan, Germany. I've spent millions trying to help her. And you think a garden hose will fix this?" The maid Grace didn't flinch. "All those doctors treated her body," she said softly, "but none of them treated her mind. And the body always listens to the mind first." Marcus's chest tightened. "That's absurd. I've hired the best in the world." The verdict was permanent spinal damage. No hope. Grace tilted her head slightly. "When was the last time she was truly examined?" Marcus hesitated. 6. Maybe 7 years ago. After the 5th specialist said nothing could be done, I stopped. Grace's eyes bored into him. "So you gave up on her without even trying to see if anything had changed?" Marcus felt guilt twist in his stomach. I wanted to protect her. I gave her the best care. Everything she needed to be comfortable." "Comfortable," Grace repeated, her tone even but pointed. "Comfortable doesn't awaken the nerves. It doesn't make the body remember. It can move. That's why I'm here." She turned to Catherine. "When your caretakers bathe you, do they use warm water?" "Always warm," Catherine answered softly. "Do they touch your legs carefully, gently?" Grace asked. "Yes." "Like I might break," Catherine whispered. Grace nodded. "Exactly. Your body became used to comfort. Your nervous system stopped responding. It's time to wake it up. Time to shock it into remembering it can move." Marcus's hands shook. You expect her to respond to a garden hose?" Grace turned the nozzle toward Catherine's legs. Cold water splashed over her knees. Catherine gasped, trembling. "Focus on your legs," Grace instructed. "Not what you think you should feel, but what you actually feel." Catherine closed her eyes. I feel something. A tingling. It's faint, but it's there." "No imagination," Grace said firmly. "This is real. Marcus, come here. Watch." Marcus approached, still in disbelief. Grace guided his hand onto his mother's leg. "Press hard, not gentle." Marcus did as told. Catherine's skin quivered beneath his fingers. She looked at him, astonished. "I felt that," she whispered. "I actually felt that." Marcus swallowed hard. All those doctors. Maybe they never even tried to wake her system. Maybe they assumed nothing could happen. Grace nodded. Medical science is amazing, but humans see what they expect. Nobody expected her to heal, so nobody looked for healing. Marcus sank to his knees beside his mother, his expensive suit soaked by the hose and the grass. I thought I was helping. You were keeping her alive, comfortable, but she wasn't alive, Grace said gently. She was just waiting for someone to remind her she's not broken. Catherine's voice trembled. She's right. I felt things, tiny movements for years, but I was too afraid to speak. What if it was nothing? What if I disappointed you? Marcus grasped her hand. Mom, I'm so sorry. I should have never given up on you. Grace smiled faintly. Then let's try. Not because you know you can, but to see if you can. Ready? Catherine's eyes widened with fear. What if I can't? What if nothing has changed? Then we try again tomorrow, Grace said simply. And the day after. And the day after that. Until you do. Catherine gripped the arms of the wheelchair, bracing herself. Grace positioned herself 2 feet away, one step at a time. Trust me. Marcus held his breath. You can do this, Mom, he whispered. Okay, Catherine said, voice fierce with determination. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. She pushed herself up, trembling, shaking, her legs protested. And yet, for the first time in 12 years, she stood. 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Then she collapsed back into the chair, gasping, tears streaming down her cheeks. You did it, Grace said, laughing through tears. You stood? Marcus joined them, pulling his mother into his arms. You actually stood. Mom, you stood. They tried again. 8 seconds. Then 15. Then 30, each attempt stronger than the last. With Grace's guidance, Catherine's muscles remembered what they had long forgotten. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the garden in orange and pink, Grace stepped back. Now take a step. 1 step forward. Catherine trembled. Marcus held her hand. You can do it, he encouraged, with courage born of desperation and hope. Catherine lifted her right foot, placing it firmly on the grass. Then the left. She wobbled, faltered, but stayed upright. Another step, and another. 3 steps. She was walking. She was alive. Grace caught her lightly as she fell forward, laughing and crying. Marcus joined them. All 3 collapsed into the grass, tears and laughter mixing in the golden light. How did you know? Marcus whispered. Grace wiped her eyes. I was in a wheelchair once. 3 years, paralyzed. Then a therapist refused to accept limitations and shocked my system awake. Your mother can walk in months with proper guidance. Catherine brushed the grass off her dress, awe and joy flooding her face. I did it, she said, still trembling. Marcus hugged her, overwhelmed with gratitude. Thank you for everything. 4 months later, Catherine walked into Marcus's office using only a cane. Her steps were confident. Grace, promoted to full-time rehabilitation specialist, stood proudly beside her every Sunday. They would sit together in the garden, surrounded by roses. Remembering the day a garden hose proved that miracles come from people who refuse to give up and that hope is the greatest gift of all. If Catherine's journey inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this story to remind everyone that it's never too late to stand again, no matter how impossible things seem. Comment below your favorite moment, the first step, the wobbly walk, or Grace's bold method. Tag someone who needs hope today. Hit that like button if this gave you goosebumps. And subscribe for more true stories of courage, miracles, and resilience. Because sometimes all it takes is one person who refuses to give up to remind the world miracles are real.